Hi everybody. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Miss Haythornthwaite and I'm the remote learning manager here at Mayfield Primary School. I'm the one who is overseeing all of the provision using Purple Mash. Some of you may know me because you've been in touch with me and had some contact with me. So hello everybody. I just wanted to go through a few bits on Purple Mash that might help you over the half-term period. Some of you might be taking a break. Some of you might want to do a little bit more at home, which is absolutely fine. Obviously, we're not going to be putting up the remote learning as we have been doing during half term, but there are things on Purple Mash, there are resources on Purple Mash that are absolutely brilliant if you want to use them or have a look at them. So the first thing that I want to show you is when you log into Purple Mash, you can see down here, down the side here, there are lots of featured programs and elements to Purple Mash that are being promoted, and they are absolutely fantastic. So obviously there's a parents and home support one here, and this shows you lots of guides on how to use Purple Mash, most of which I have talked about and covered and promoted earlier, but that's where you find all of those resources. The thing that I want to highlight in this section is this parent blog. This is brand new from Purple Mash, and you may have seen that I have put this on our social media platform. But for those of you who haven't had a look at it, I can highly recommend it. It is brilliant. It has got all resources and videos on how to use these resources all the way through. So you've got National Storytelling Week resources on storytelling, you've got resources on the history of the topic, you've even got some things on well-being and mental health, both for yourselves as parents and the children. Honestly, this is updated all of the time. How to motivate your children to write, which is obviously something that we have been getting a lot of queries about, how to keep children motivated when they're at home. We know how difficult that can be. There is a video there on how to do that. There's also just some advice on just some fun activities, like, we're still in winter, we're heading towards spring. Honestly, they are just brilliant. How to save work, mini mash for those younger children who like to do lots of art projects. There are lots and lots and lots of resources on there. So please keep an eye on that parent blog, because there will be updates on that really, really regularly. So when you go into something, if you want to get back to the homepage, just click that home button in the top corner. The next thing that I want to show you is this remote learning section. Now you can search, so these features may change. So parent, just if you ever want to find anything, just search for it. So you can search for remote learning, or it's under home learning as well. But this remote learning is absolutely fantastic. Obviously, it promotes the parent blog as well. It's got all of those guides that I was telling you about earlier, and it's got lots of videos on how to manage the work that's coming through on Purple Mash. But for this section, it's this bit, it's the resources bit that I want to show you. It has links to other resources such as CBBC, because they are promoting a lot of daily activities and videos at the moment. So check that out if you haven't already. But obviously, we've got the closures from last year. We've got the consolidation from last year because of the school closure last year, the home learning that took place last year. And the consolidation takes you through all of the things that the children have missed or would have missed out on had they not, if they weren't in school. And obviously they split it into age groups. And it takes you through daily tasks. So let's go through week 1, for instance. It's got all of the tasks that they would be doing. So if I go into an older child, go into week 1, it's got a book and it's got all the activities that go through the book. For instance, that's the consolidation. We have also got all of the daily activities that were promoted all the way through lockdown last year. But that's consolidation from last year. There are resources for this year as well. So spring term remote learning here is the one that we're obviously looking at the moment. So just choose the age group of your child or children if I go into 10 or 11. And then these were all the spring weeks. And this is just a guide of what Purple Mash would have recommended as sort of like a scheme of work should a school or a teacher want to follow the scheme of work. Obviously, at Mayfield here, we've been doing a very bespoke curriculum for all the children, uploads and things like that. But this is just what Purple Mash recommend to cover the curriculum as a scheme, should that be followed. So they're just ideas of activities should you want to use them during half term or weekends and just get a little bit of extra work in if you wanted to. So week 6, for instance, it's focusing on a book and the activities, and it's suggesting doing some science, and it's also suggesting doing some history, which you've got all of your topics, and it's also suggesting geography, which is all of your topics in geography. So please have a look at the remote learning section of Purple Mash, because it has got some unbelievably fantastic resources on there that again are updated regularly. So please have a look at those. They are brilliant. Go back to home. The last thing that I want to show you is the Safer Internet Day resources. Obviously, we would be covering this in school normally, and we do cover internet safety in school every half term. But obviously, Safer Internet Day is happening while we're actually not at school. So there's loads of resources, and I can only promote Safer Internet Day because the children obviously are using much more computer programs and are spending a lot more time online than probably they would ordinarily do. So internet safety is an absolute priority to make sure that your children are safe and that you know what your children are accessing and going on. So please have a look at the Safer Internet Day resources. There's a parent guide. There is a link to previous years that we have covered in school, but then it splits it into 2 sections. So please have a look at the age of child that you have, and then it's got activities, it's got PowerPoints, it's got games, it's got posters, it's got quick activities. So please have a look at those resources because they are absolutely fantastic. The Safer Internet Day resources are highly recommended across all schools. So please have a look at those for internet safety. So take it back to home. And then, of course, you've got all of these resources to access should the children just want to do a little bit of extra. Serial Mash are books. Diamonds are for your younger children. Emeralds are for your lower Key Stage 2 children. And sapphires are for your upper Key Stage children. And then they can choose a book. They can have a go at read the chapter, have a go at the online activities that go with that chapter. There are games to have a look, and quite often they are related to a topic. So, for instance, number bonds, division, factors, fractions, all of those resources. And then your topics down here are, you could do some science or you can do some geography. There are just so many resources to access on Purple Mash. So please, if you've not already done so, have a look at the resources on Purple Mash. Definitely check out the remote learning, the Safer Internet Day, and the parent support, because there are absolutely loads of resources on there that could help you. So please don't feel like that you have to flounder over half term. If you did want to do something and you feel like there's nothing coming through on the remote learning from the class teachers, there are resources out there, especially on Purple Mash, that can help you. Equally, if you're taking a break over half term, absolutely fine. We all, I think after this half term, we all deserve a good break and just taking care of ourselves. So don't feel like you have to look at these resources. They are just there should you want to, and should you want to have a look and familiarise yourself with Purple Mash a little bit more. Okay, have a wonderful half term, everybody, and we will see you hopefully very, very soon when we're back up and running. Bye, everybody.